I'm Lauren Kelly.
And I'm Chelsea Beers, and you are listening to...
It's ApPARENT. Because for some people, it's just not obvious.
A weekly podcast where we discuss and laugh about parenting, all the joys and sorrows, and all the special parts of us that died as individuals while drinking booze.
Cheers! And here we are.
Back again.
Another It's ApPARENT. This is probably the weirdest show we've done thus far.
Why?
Because we're doing it with hot toddies.
Well, no.
Emphasizing the teas.
Right, and we can't speak. We're sober. That's what she's saying.
It's our first complete sober episode because Chelsea has officially given up drinking. She told me literally 12 minutes ago.
Well, which is when I made the decision, so...
So we're almost 13 minutes in now.
Right, and I'm already bored. I know. I'm at a point where I'm not feeling very good about myself. I feel really overweight. And I think that that's just one thing that I want to fix in my life. I want to feel better from the inside out. Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally get it. But do you feel like alcohol is the main reason?
Well, I'm not saying that alcohol is making me fat, but alcohol definitely, because of my lifestyle, my work is at night. You know what I mean? So being a stand-up comic and not drinking is very difficult to do. Some comics do it great. But if I drink and I'm at a club and then I'm driving home, I get tired and I'm hungry and I make bad food choices. So I haven't eaten fast food in years, and in the last 2 weeks, I've eaten more than I care to admit, and I'm not happy with myself. So I just don't feel good. I really want to cleanse my body out. I want to eat really cleansing foods and clear myself out. I just don't feel very good, attractive, sexy.
Well, you are.
What?
You put the hot in hot toddy. You are. You're a very attractive person for more reasons than just how hot you look.
Thanks.
The point is that I think it's a good idea, and it doesn't hurt, to switch stuff up every once in a while.
Right.
I
think I'm taking a break. You know what I mean? I need to just kind of take a break and let my body kind of reset. Every now and then you have to take a little break and reset, and that's where I'm at right now.
For sure. I don't think I could ever give up alcohol completely.
Yeah.
But
I definitely had to for 10 months of my life at one point.
Right. So you can do it.
So I can do it. And it's just, and sometimes I think about it and it's like, well, why do I drink? You know what I mean? I don't think that I need to drink right now to cope with anything or, this. And, so yeah, it's time right now to just kind of take a break. And this break may be today. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just right now I feel like I need to take a pause from drinking and just kind of focus on me and feeling a little bit better about me.
Well,
so
good.
Especially with things happening in my life right now.
Yeah, stuff is lining up.
Things are happening. Things are lining up. I'm in an upward trajectory, and I feel really good about everything else in my life. I want that to be mirrored in how I feel about myself personally and physically. So that's all.
I love it, and I'm supporting you, so I'll have tea also.
Thanks, buddy. You want to cheers our mugs?
Doesn't mean as soon as you leave that I'm not going to pour myself a shot of Jack, but right now... No, to be honest with you, when you brought that up with the show and you had said, oh, we should drink every episode, that was actually Chelsea's idea for the show. And it was not something that I personally thought I would ever do because for me, whenever I'm doing something in the form of any entertainment...
Productive, professional.
Right, I do not normally incorporate alcohol because it's... just not what I'm used to. Yeah.
So right now there's a chainsaw happening
outside. I don't know if you guys can hear the chainsaw. If you do, I'm really sorry. That's just inevitable, and it's just what's going to happen this episode. There's literally nothing I can do about it. The crackheads next door finally got evicted and moved out. So now they're completely rehabbing this whole house.
I want to live there.
It was really bad. It was really bad. I mean,
yeah, I only saw it from the outside, and I was just yikes. Like, I could tell how bad it was on the inside strictly from how they kept the out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it was just a really negative situation because the guy who lived there for years and years and years, when we first moved in, his name is James, and no doubt that he had a major drinking habit because he drank like 40s multiple times a day. Mm-hmm. But he was a nice guy, and I thought he was really good. His son used heroin and was in and out of rehab and jail and things like that, but he only came around when he was out, which was very rare.
Right.
But then he decided, because he's in the Mormon church, and he decided to welcome this younger family in, a woman with her baby couldn't be more than 9 months old, and her gangster boyfriend and their friend, and they just brought and wreaked havoc. So eventually they just pretty much changed the locks and wouldn't let James go back into his house.
Oh my
and
God.
They had dogs. These were the same people that just dropped a dog off at my house I talked about on an earlier episode.
Yeah.
Well, when they moved out, like, they've had to replace the whole subfloor because there was baby diapers everywhere. There was dog poop and pee everywhere. Like, I don't know how these people lived. Yeah.
And there was a baby in there,
and
like,
there was
breathing
a
baby
that in there. Yeah, it's devastating.
My whole heart.
Mine too. It's devastating. But they've been in the process now of this refurb for, a couple of weeks now, but it's a full gut. So it's just, sorry if you hear the chainsaw. That's the whole point of that.
Right.
Sorry if you hear a fucking chainsaw.
There it is. Okay. We're not drinking. There's a chainsaw. Great.
Right.
Next.
I need to talk to you about something that happened this week.
Great.
My son got called into the principal, and the principal called us because he did something wrong. And I was super surprised by it. He told a racist joke at school.
Ooh.
And he told it to 2 black girls.
Oh.
And he prefaced it, I guess, before he told either one that, you're going to be offended, da-da-da-da. And the first one wasn't, and the second one was, and she told.
Wait, so he told them they were going to be offended?
Yeah.
Great. So, then he covered his boundaries.
He didn't.
Just
so
kidding.
He came home the day before, and he told me a really funny joke. And I can say it on air because I've been really offensive before. He says, Lauren,
preface. There's the preface.
What do you call 10 black guys in an elevator? Mm-hmm. And I said, actually, he said 10 African Americans, which somehow makes it more racist, I feel. I said, I don't know what. He said, a box of chocolates. Of course, I start howling because I think it's funny.
Right.
And then I told him the black joke that I knew from when I was a kid. That was, what do you call 10 black guys jumping out of an airplane? Mm-hmm. And it's night.
Okay.
So, okay, right?
Right.
Anyway, I'm laughing, but I told him this. So it was the next day that he got sent home for telling a race joke. And
so
I said,
it's your fault.
Said, shit, I hope it wasn't the joke I told him.
Right. It's totally your fault.
It wasn't. It wasn't the joke I told him. They were actually watching videos of a comedian, and I don't remember what his name is because neither does he, because he doesn't really care about that. He cares about the race jokes.
Right.
Now, my kid's not a racist, but in today's climate, it's really hard for them or anybody really.
I don't know. This is going to be, because we're going to have, kind of, different opinions on this because this is something I do for a living.
Right.
So this is an interesting discussion to have because it's like, where do we draw the boundary?
Right.
We watch these, comedians have Netflix specials and HBO specials and stuff like that. And race is always an issue. Mm-hmm.
Right.
We talk about race all the time, even when you don't want to. Race is going to come up. Jokes are going to be made. I mean, Chappelle, but Chappelle has an incredible finesse. Like, he has this amazing way of talking about it where he can make fun of both sides, but also make it okay for you to laugh at both sides. Everyone has something that they do or their culture does that the other people can laugh at, and it's okay. We're not making fun of you or saying that it's wrong.
Right.
We're saying it's okay if you embrace the humor behind it, and so that's something that I do on stage is I want to make it okay for everyone to laugh at everybody. You have shit that's funny, you have shit that's funny, let's all embrace it. We're here for 2 hours. Let's throw the political shit aside for a while and just be happy for a little bit.
Yeah, I like that.
And so that's what it's all about. And so it's tricky because that's in a very controlled environment where laughter and jokes are intended, and that's why people paid money to come see.
Right, comedy, you mean? Yes,
right,
correct.
right. So now, when it's in an uncontrolled situation, like a high school, or like that is a little bit more sensitive because everyone now is offended by everything.
Correct.
But in that situation, they kind of have the right to be. I
agree with that. So let me tell you how we handled it.
Oh, please. We didn't even get that far.
I have always told the boys, like, your audience. All right?
Yes.
So, for example, I know they cuss. It would be hypocritical of me to tell them never to cuss because literally fuck is my favorite word.
Yeah, well,
so one of my many favorite words. Anyway,
because it can be a noun or a verb.
Right. But I told him, know your audience. You're not going to cuss around me or dad or parents or grandparents or, your girlfriend's parents or your friend's parents. But, you're hanging out with your friend down the street. Like, know your audience, you know?
Right.
Same thing with this. School is treated in our house that is work for them.
Right, exactly. Right.
And so we can't talk like that at work.
No.
I mean,
I can't.
You have a different circumstance
right.
because you are a comedian and you're able to do stuff like that. But even still, you can't do that.
Right.
I mean, you can't clock in or get a salary job where you're sitting in a cubicle or anywhere else. I mean, even now, working at a winery, I can't just walk around and say things like that.
Now, even though I do have quote unquote a job where I can go and I still have rules that I need to abide by if I'd like to get booked by
Correct.
this club again. Like I can't go up there and be like, man, the food here sucks, or have you seen the manager, like what a fat piece of shit, like so I have to also realize that my club that I'm performing at that night is my employer.
Correct.
And so I can push the envelope and I can be crazy and off the wall and talk about stuff that normal people can't talk about because that's what a comedian does. But I also have to know my audience. I have to know what is too far, where's the boundary, and not offend anyone for reals because this is a job.
Right. And that's what else I said to him. I said, you have to check it at the door at school and you have to check it at the door at work, and that's just the way that it goes. So yes, know your audience. But I also don't want him to lose any sense of himself, and who he is, because he is a very witty, charismatic person. And I think those are really great. And I love the fact, too, that he can laugh about silly things,
Right.
But I have to remind him, he had a circumstance the other day where they got mad at this one kid because he was making fun of his friend for not having a dad or something. And, right. And it's like, oh, but you tell him he doesn't have a dad all the time and it's fine. And he goes, well, yeah, it's fine. I said, okay, so here you are at school, and the first thing you think is they're going to be offended. And you knew that they would be because you started the conversation by you're going to get offended. Right. I said, so let that be whenever your mind thinks, oh, you're going to get offended, you're about to say something offensive. Right. So just don't say it. Right. I said, it's just like any type of joke. Like, oh, I don't mean to sound racist, but... Right. No, you sound racist
already before the joke even starts.
Correct.
With the preface.
So I had to tell him that too. And we ended up having a full family, discussion about it. And both of them were pretty receptive to it. And I hope that this is a lesson for him, because to be honest with you guys, I got 2 teen white boys, and in today's climate, they really do have to be fucking careful.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not. We also had the conversation about how they're privileged. I mean, they are. And if they don't get that now, they're never going to get that.
Right.
So they have to walk into circumstances being way more empathetic and careful than most people.
Yeah, it's true. And you're teaching them the right things, that's great. But this is also going to be one of those things where life is going to teach them a lot more than anything that you guys just sit down and talk to them about. We talked about that in the last episode, like living by example and leading by example is going to have a greater impact on their teenage brains than just a conversation.
Correct.
But having the conversation is definitely a good foundation.
Yeah, you don't have an option, right?
Right, like you have to talk to them.
When the principal calls, you must take action.
Right. And so, I get it. It's an unfortunate circumstance that he was in, that he was a part of that, but he kind of knew that it was coming, especially since he prefaced it like, hey guys, this is gonna, you're really gonna hate my guts right now, but check out this joke. You
know
what I mean?
It opens segue to have a conversation about the sexual side too. You know, I said, you know, if you sitting there and you know your friend raped a girl and you don't say anything,
right,
you're just as guilty as the guy who did it.
Completely.
And this is the climate that you are growing up in. This is the way life is now. And I'm sorry that it is this way, because it wasn't like that when you and I were growing up.
No.
I mean, race was always an issue for sure.
Right. And
I think
a lot of it was going on when we were around, or when we were younger, but a lot of it was behind closed doors. A lot of it was, you know, hush, hush, don't tell. You know, a lot of it was, you know, that, you know, and now everything is out in the open. I mean, how many, you know, male celebrities have gotten busted? You know what I mean?
Right.
For shit that happened how long ago?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like now, you know, people are talking more than they ever have. And so it's like, well, you know, you can't do anything, you know? I have a friend of mine, a comedian friend, his name is Matt Gubser, and he's absolutely hilarious. And he has 3 daughters, all teenage daughters, right? And so, you know, he has this interesting outlook as well, because he has teenagers, but they're all girls, and, you know, all this stuff. But he has this joke about, you know, I have guy friends now who are scared to even talk to a girl now, because they're like, no, I'm going to get in trouble. Right. I can't talk to her. I can't date her. I can't have sex with her. I can't hold her hand. I'm going to get in trouble for something. And he has this joke where he says, so I created this plan, you know, where, you know, I want you to write down a list of things that you do when you see an attractive girl and you go up and talk to her. Write out exactly what you do to go up and hit on a woman. And he said, and look at that list, and if any of those are a crime, don't do them. You know, like, to do. Right. It's pretty simple, you know, and it's just a real, like, it's a simple, basic fact of respect. Everyone just wants respect. And why is it so difficult to find and attain respect from another human being?
But you also have to there is some responsibility on the party on the receiving end, because they have to be able to put their foot down and say, enough's enough. That's too far, or that passed my boundary. Do you know what I mean?
And I feel like there have been some instances where, you know, maybe the female did want it, you know, and it was some sort of consensual thing, and then out of nowhere, when it's done, you know, maybe they didn't return a phone call or a text, and it's like, well, they violated me, you know, and it's like, well, did they really, or are you just, you know, kind of upset because they didn't, it was a hookup and not a relationship, you know? So I don't know. It was
no circumstances exactly the same, I guess.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And each situation should definitely be looked at individually, because it's not all grouped into one thing. But
it is scary, though. I mean, when you think about it, and you think about, you know, even us talking about technology and all these other things that I've had to deal with the boys. I mean, think about someone like Chance. You know, you are one of my many friends that have little babies now, and it's whether they're male or female. I mean, to think that the world that they're going to be growing up in is this, for lack of a better term, rigid. I feel like it's going to hinder a lot of different personality types, you know? Like women and men, or girls and boys, you know, feeling like they have to do certain things a certain way all the time, or else there's a major repercussion. It's not just a conversation like it was at our house. And that could have been way worse. I mean, they have a 0 tolerance policy at my son's school, most schools nowadays. I mean, that could have been much worse.
It really could have. He got off incredibly easy, and it really could have gone worse. Like, I'm trying to think of, you know, I mean, even if those girls didn't go to the principal and report this, you know, he could have just kept going, and it could have snowballed. And, you know, then finally one person says, you know, he told this joke, and then 17 other people come forward. It's like, this could have been really, really bad.
You think about what my husband brought up. What if she's got 3 older brothers? And she's running around telling everyone that you're a racist now. Next thing you know, you've got all these other, I mean, you never know for anything. And he did have to sign paperwork, and so that'll go on his record now too. You know, so it's a very serious thing, and we do have to be careful. But I think you're right. You know, a parental conversation is important, but it's not always the thing that drives something home.
Yeah, and it's true. They you know, kids do need to learn their boundaries, but, you know, watching, like I said, like the comedians and stuff that you see on TV, watching that with your kids, they need to know that, you know, this is a comedy thing. If you're going to talk about this stuff, then reference the comedian, you know, say this is from this Netflix special I watched. Da, 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 da. Don't, say it like yourself, because if it's not in a controlled environment, it could be taken completely wrong.
Right.
So,
but it's like the people who go to comedy shows and get all pissed off. It's like, why'd you come here then? You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of signing up for it. And some people don't go to comedy shows because of that.
Some don't, and some do. Some actually go to comedy clubs and get really, really offended. And it's just, you really need. I don't understand. I don't understand people that go and get really butthurt and just bent out of shape and all that. I don't understand it. So yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
But keep supporting live comedy. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, and that's it too. It's like that came right after a week that I did another stand-up with you.
Yeah.
And so, we are funny people. We like to laugh and joke about really serious things. That's the whole reason we do this podcast, guys, is to poke fun at the real shit.
Right.
So I don't want him to lose that. Mm-hmm. Because life is too damn serious sometimes. Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I like I like doing comedy. It's because I like saying things that everyone else is feeling, but they feel like they can't say. Mm-hmm. I like being the voice of general people, and a lot of my comedy now is just talking to the audience and just getting to know them, and let's talk about the stuff that you guys do in real life, because some of it's pretty dumb. We all do dumb stuff. Let's talk about it because it'll be funny.
Like what? Like quit drinking?
Yeah, who would do that? Idiots. We're really drinking Jack out of the bottle right now, but that's so bad. No, we're not.
I got this new little mug from my husband. Is it not super cute?
I know, it's really cute.
It's a little travel mug. It's a Volkswagen travel mug. He was all upset because it actually looks like one of the camper vans, the buses. And he wanted it to be like a Beetle because that's my jam. But I love it. I think it's super cute.
It's really cute. That was one of my dream cars, was a Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have one of those and like have a
chill
couch,
spot in the back.
Yeah. Like have a couch in there and the curtains and like this little chandelier. Like, oh my!
They got a new one coming out. It's electric, I guess.
What?
Yep.
Oh
Concept
my God.
car. It'll probably be out within the next few years.
But I wanted a bus so bad, like just have the doors open and have it be like a lounge. Like
beanbag chairs and shit. Yeah.
Oh my God. I should. Oh man, I would get one right now. That's a dream car for me. It still is.
They're great.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little gift. Get a gift just because.
Yeah, I like just because gifts. Yeah, I gave one to my friend last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did her birthday show. This was back in December. And we took a picture, all the comedians took a picture afterwards. And, on the stage, we were all in a row and, she was right in the center. It was her actual birthday. And I was like, man, this is great. And she had never had a birthday party. She doesn't celebrate her birthday very much.
Why? Is she Jehovah's Witness?
No, absolutely not. But she had kids really young. And so once her kids were there, it's like, well, my birthday's nothing. It's all
People
about my
can
kids, all
that.
about my kids.
Yeah.
Right. So she never really had a birthday like as an adult. And I was like, fuck, like we need to make this like special. So I custom made her a cake, with my friend Rachel, and we made her a cake and I performed on our show and it was great. But then I got those pictures, back from I saw those pictures. And I was like, man, I really want her to remember this day. So I put it on a mug, like from Shutterfly or something.
Yeah.
And I put it on a mug, got it sent to me. It was just an easy thing that I was able to do real quick. Yeah. And I haven't seen her until yesterday. She showed up to the show I was at in Sacramento, and I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you were going to be here." So I ran down to my car and I gave it to her, and she was like, and she started crying, and I was like, it was just a really simple gesture that I knew she would like, but it had nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't for a special occasion.
Just because.
Right? It was just because, and I think those are really, really special. Those presents tend to be the most special, you know what I mean? Because
someone was thinking about you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and not because they are obligated to get you a gift or anything, but it was just because you were on their mind or their heart, and it's just just because presents. Yeah, I have difficulty receiving them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense. It's part of being on a spotlight, kind of on the spot, you know, where you want to say the right thing, like, yo, thanks, but then what if it's not good enough and you're not like...
Right. Or like, why did you get this? And sometimes I get uncomfortable. I don't know. I get funny with like, just because I'm like...
Well, they do definitely look at how you respond. Because last night I was so tired because I took that tumble. I fell on my fucking elbow in the morning, guys. I took a big ass tumble and I was so tired by the end of the day. And so he gives me it, and I'm like, I love it. And he goes, are you sure? Because it's a bus, blah, blah, blah. Aww. I say, yeah, I love it. I do. And he goes, are you sure? But clearly I wasn't enthusiastic enough.
Right.
So I had to hook up a little acting there and go, no, I really do. I love it. In fact, I want to make something right now. Anyway, I still don't think he believed me, but I did take a picture and send it to him today and say, see, I did love it. Yay,
I actually used it. See? That's good. I'm glad he's doing that. And you guys are going away this weekend, and I just think I think it's good. You guys are doing really good, and I'm happy.
Well, yeah, but you have to at some point do good when you're coming out of the weeds, right?
Right. I mean, there's nowhere else to go but up, huh?
Or zip it up.
Oh yeah.
Tie a bow. Chelsea's literally been doing her nails the whole show.
It's true.
So it's like literally she's either got to be drinking or eating or doing her nails. Like,
and we talked about this last time. Like, I can't talk on the phone if it's just talking on the phone. Remember we talked about this?
Right.
And because I have to be doing something, whether it's driving or shopping or something, like I have to be doing another activity while talking on the phone. Otherwise, I can't handle it. It's like 3-4 minutes max. I gotta go. So this is like that right now. I feel like we can talk and have this conveation, this podcast thing that we're doing.
We're gonna do manis.
But I have to do something, right? Because I'm not drinking.
I love that drinking counts as something to do, though.
Oh yeah, totally. Yes. What else?
So what's new with you? Like, I feel like I just talked a whole episode about me.
Oh yeah, but no, I'm able to join in that conversation because it's about race and comedy. And
True.
Guess what? That's my life. That's what I'm built on.
You know what else is a first this show?
What?
I am not wearing a brassiere.
Wow.
Not even a sports brassiere.
Oh my God, how free.
It's really actually very nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know what else?
The worst part is though, I just realized that.
And that I didn't notice. Now, if I wasn't wearing a bra and I walked into your house.
Like you have many times.
Right. Mm-hmm. Then I would knock over everything on your coffee table. But you sit here without a bra on, and I'm like, oh, it's the same perky Lauren that I see every single day.
It's step parenting, man. It's
mean,
the one perk to step parenting.
Good Lord.
Titties. It's the two perks. It's the two perks to being a step parent.
Oh, I see what you did
Titties.
There. Yeah, that's pretty good. So no bra, no booze. That's the title of this.
Yep.
This.
I'm gonna write that down, and it's TTs.
Oh, TTs. Oh my God. I had a meeting today. I don't know if this is this is exciting podcast material, but I had a meeting today. I got a new gig. So, starting in March, every Wednesday, I'll be doing trivia in Fairfield.
Oh, good. Anybody around that area, Fairfield, Vacaville, come on out.
Yeah, if you're in the Fairfield, Cordelia, Vacaville area, please stay tuned. I'll be at the Bandwagon Lounge in Fairfield, starting every Wednesday in March. And we're just going to do trivia every single week.
Awesome.
Out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't been to any of Chelsea's trivia, they are so much fun because it's literally like her comedy with trivia, and there's prizes every round. I mean, you literally, it's a great night out.
And I try to make it very it's kind of like a good span, like a good mix.
Oh yeah, and it's free.
Oh, it's free to go and play, yes. But I make it a good mix of questions for young people, old people, so that everybody can play.
I mean, nobody's gonna be able to bring their kid to the bar though, because this one's at a bar.
Well, I'll say young people, like, yeah.
Well, people do it here in Benicia. Like, we brought the boys a few times, and they can answer questions.
Yeah, the one in Benicia is all ages because it's at a restaurant, and so but this one is at a bar, so it's 21 and over. But I like to do a group, a span of different questions so that everyone can play, and you can have a group up to 6, and it's just fun. I love it.
Be ready for you to hear a couple of F-bombs though.
Oh,
so for your kids, if you're gonna be offended and you think they might talk about it at school, then don't bring them.
It is. It's fun because it is a mix, and I've heard that a lot of trivia nights at places. I haven't gone to a lot of them, but they say that they're pretty mundane, pretty boring. They just ask the questions, they turn them in. The host, grades them, so nobody really knows what No,
it's all interactive. It's
100%. Yeah, I want to involve as many people as I can, and it's fun. So.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get more weekly gigs so that my week is, because I don't have a 9 to 5 because I can't do those. So if I have jobs throughout the week that are set in and just like concrete, ready to go, and I know that they're there, then great. I feel like I am prepared for what's to come.
Life.
Right.
Raising your boy.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's great news, Chelsea.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I hope to see everyone there, even you in Denmark that are listening. Fly out for my trivia.
Come on out to a random little town in California called Fairfield on Wednesday, and then Thursday in Benicia, some people say.
Right. Benicia, who's she?
General Vallejo's wife.
Right. I know. When I was moving here from LA, or from New York, when I was moving back.
Did you just finally get that piece of nail polish out?
No, it's still there.
Oh, she got nail polish in her teeth.
I did. When I was moving here from New York, they were like, Benicia, is that your cousin? You know, like, it sounds like a black girl name. It's funny. Don't use that, Cameron.
Yeah, don't.
Don't use that one at school.
Keep that on the air only.
Damn it.
No joke zone. No joke zone.
No, not about Benicia. She's black and sensitive. Are we done?
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Thank God you were wearing a bra, otherwise that would have been your tip.
It was the chair. Hey, you can check us out individually on our websites, chelseabierce.com and lauren-kelly.com, to see all the super exciting things we're up to.
And make sure that you like, follow, and share. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter at It's Apparent Pod.
And if you wouldn't mind, please review us. We'd love that.
Yeah, make it count. We out.
Boom. Bye.